Hi, I'm Dr. Holda Gueye, a board-certified physician in the United States and an inner healing coach. I'm here today with a video that I hope is going to transform your life. I often get asked to speak to people that have been diagnosed with a terminal illness. It's either cancer or it's an illness that will change their lives forever, potentially. And if you haven't yet seen my TEDx talk on how the stories you tell about yourself and your life can either help your body heal or hinder healing, then I want you to check that out. I'm going to put the link somewhere in this video or in the comments so you can really submerge yourself in real information that can really make a difference in your journey. So if you were recently given a terminal diagnosis, or you were given a diagnosis for a very serious condition that could potentially completely change the way that you live your life, then I have a very important message for you. I'm Dr. Holda Gueye, and welcome if you are new to my channel. If you are watching this on another social media platform, welcome to this video. This message is for you if you have been diagnosed with a terminal illness, cancer, or some sort of life-changing illness. I often get asked to speak to people just like you, to give them a new perspective, to give them the mindset and the internal shift that they need to allow their bodies to heal. Now, if you think that you are on a video that's going to tell you not to follow your medical treatment, unfortunately, that is not this video. I absolutely encourage you to get the best medical care that is available for the condition that you were diagnosed with. But I'm going to offer you something that I want you to pair with your medical treatment that I promise will change your life. The very first reaction that most of us get when we receive a diagnosis for a terminal illness is one of total despair, one of shock, one where we are now faced with our mortality, fear, lots of fear. And this state makes us do a few things. It makes us frantically want to research what other people have gone through and kind of go over the internet over and over and over, looking at all kinds of various different things, the most random to the most evidence-based. We begin to be sort of almost hyper obsessed with the minutia of the medical process of what it is that we're going through, and we sometimes even forget the rest of our lives and everybody else that is within it. And I want you to hear me today with your heart, because what I want to offer you is a radical inner shift that I promise is going to change the way that your body is going to heal through this new chapter in your life in the most magnificent way, in a way that you can't imagine. You see, the new story that you are telling yourself is one of fear, one where there is not a chance of a good outcome, but there's a part of you that is still hoping and holding on to the potential that perhaps your story will be different. Yet despite that state, we tend to find ourselves mostly in a space of doubt and fear, and almost feeling like there's really just no other way out of the curse that you have just received. But I want you to change this story, and I want you to consider a few things. So I hope your heart is open. I want you to remember that someone else's story does not have to be your story. I want you to refrain from reading social media and Facebook groups after Facebook group of other people that have suffered, of people whose sole job is to tell you how much they have suffered and how bad their lives have been with this disease. I want you to stay away from those stories because they do not have to be yours. And submerging yourself in those negative stories will make them yours. It'll make you worry that it'll be yours. And the stories that you tell about who you are will make them who you are. So I want you to decide right now that someone else's story does not have to be your story, and that you are going to live through this diagnosis and this journey in your own way. I want you to also remember that the percentages out there about your chances of survival and how well certain people did and your chances of having this and that symptom, that percentages apply to populations and they don't work very well to individuals. And unfortunately, when you look at a percentage, for example, 67% of patients are going to get, let's say, nausea with this specific diagnosis, what tells you will be in the other percentage that doesn't get it? You don't know. And so we use percentages on a population level to give us an idea of how many people we think are going to experience a certain outcome. But you do not have to internalize that and then use it to feed your fear and your doubt. So remember that percentages apply to populations and not individuals. The other thing that I want you to remember is that it is absolutely in your power to choose joy. You do not have to be the story of fear and despair, of sadness, of the one who is the victim that everyone is going to pity. This does not have to be you. You have the power to see this as a brand new chapter for you. One that will open up and release things in your life that only this diagnosis could have released for you. And so I'm going to give you a few questions that I want you to chew on, to write about, to think about, because it will change your life and everything that happens for you from this moment on with this new diagnosis. The first question that I want you to ask is, how can I complete my treatment with more grace and ease? How can I complete my treatment with more grace and ease? And the answer for this is going to be very personal. What do you need to make this journey, this treatment, less stressful, more grace and ease? The next question that I want you to ask yourself is, how or in what ways can I do more living now? And this is going to bring you out of this story of death and dying and back into a story that many of us, even without a terminal diagnosis, never really ask ourselves, and that is the story of life. In what ways can you do more living? Does that mean going outside more, putting your feet in the grass with Mother Nature, with the birds, having more conversations with your children, with your friends, going to those outings you didn't make the time for? What does it mean for you? How can you do more living? The next question I want you to ask yourself is, what am I grateful for? What am I grateful for in my life, and how can I enhance my enjoyment of these things that I am so grateful for? This should be a fun one to answer, and I want you to really go in 100% in answering this and come up with actionable ways that you can enjoy and enhance the things that you are already grateful for in your life. And the last question that I want you to ask is, what stories, what burdens, what people that do not serve me or make me feel suffocated, stressed out, do I need to release now? Because you're on a new journey, a new chapter. Your life is asking for your attention. And what do you need to release? To live your life with as much ease and joy and gratitude and grace. To do more living. And so think about what needs to be released. Are there stories of your past that it's now time to let go of? People that you are entertaining that you know it's time to stay away from? Activities that you've always known didn't nurture you or feed your soul? What is it time to release? And so those are the 4 questions that will create this shift for you. And always remember that your journey is unique and you get to choose what it's going to look like. And unfortunately, too many people choose to make it look like everyone else's, and it's usually very dire outcomes. But being in this new state is going to allow your body to do what it knows, and that's heal. That's find its balance. Nurture yourself, nurture your soul, nurture your mind, nurture your heart. This is a new chapter for you. And this will change your life. I have hundreds of examples, hundreds of stories that I can give you. Patients with some of the worst cancers who start a chapter in their life where they are telling me that they feel the best that they have ever felt. I just had someone tell me the story of their neighbor who was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and called his chemotherapy, his drip that he would get, with such lightheartedness, and that he looks and is living better than he has ever lived before. Can you imagine? This can be you. Choose a new story. Answer these 4 questions. And come back to tell me the beautiful journeys that you are undertaking. I'm sending you my deepest love and my warmest light.